man? Jesse here, man. Once again, man, His Elect Media. Today was a good morning. Last night, after my son's basketball game, man, I was so tired, and I still had to edit the vlog from yesterday. And it was like maybe 10:30, and I was falling asleep at my desk while I was editing, and I said, well, you know what, I got about an hour and a half before I needed to turn in this vlog for yesterday. Let me just go take a little nap. Man, I woke up, it was 3 in the morning. So that's why you saw the vlog get uploaded, man, this morning about 5 o'clock. But we did it, man, we got it done. And today is Tuesday, January the 15th now. And so I'm here this morning, man, I'm here at the house, and I'm drinking my my juice, man. I've been really making a point to try to drink a juice every single day, at least 16 ounces, if not a full 32 ounce juice that I get from Whole Foods. And so this one is a spinach, kale, lemon, apple, grape juice that they freshly squeeze in the store. So I've been doing pretty good, man. I've been really laying off a lot of the coffee, haven't drank many, if any, energy drinks, haven't drank soda in quite some time. I might have occasionally get a tea or something like that, but yeah, for the most part, been trying to be really conscious of all this, the health and everything, and staying away from beef and pork, which I haven't eaten in about 3 months probably now. Beef and pork I haven't had. So yeah, man, it's been pretty good for me, man. I know I feel a little bit different. I haven't done a lot extra besides that. There's always that New Year's resolution thing. I was just waiting for them to go on sale at the gym membership down by my house here at the rec center, but they only did that for new customers. They said I couldn't get buy 6 months, get 6 months free. So I'm just gonna have to go down there and pay for my 6 months. So I'll be starting that up pretty soon too, man. But anyway, man, today what I want to talk to y'all about is something, I guess, not so fun part of being a business owner. I guess, anything besides what you really love to do is never really that fun, huh? Anyway, today I want to talk to you guys about writing contracts for your video services. It's something that sometimes can be, I don't want to say challenging. There's always that trust factor. I work with a lot of people that I would consider my friends. Well, not only that, being a follower of Christ, these are my brothers in Christ, in a lot of cases, brothers and sisters in Christ. And there's always that understanding that you're gonna do what you say you're gonna do, and I'm gonna do what I say I'm gonna do. That's where sometimes the problems come in. The reason I'm bringing this up because I just sent off a contract for 2 music videos and an EPK that we're shooting for a group here in Dallas. There was a lot that's been said on the phone, via email, via text messages, and so I just kind of put everything into writing, basically, and that's always my primary way of handling business with most people, especially ones that I don't know. The people that I do know, we generally have a good understanding once we've already gone through this process and we begin to build relationships. And the way that I do things now, it's a lot different than when I used to do things when I first started. When I first started, I would basically just say, let's just set it up, let's do it, and then just pay me. You could just pay me as we go through the process, and just, whenever we're done with the video, just, if you have it, send it over. I know you're trying to get it done. Sometimes people have a deadline. They want to drop the video by a certain day. I scramble to get it done. We put the video out, but they may or may not have the full payment. Without even me really saying, you already know that sometimes that didn't work out too good. We get through the process, finish the video, they uploaded, they got the video, and I still haven't gotten paid. So I had to learn from those experiences, right? You would think I'd learn from those experiences. There's always those couple instances where you just make an exception for somebody. And it's in those opportunities that you have to really stick to what you say you're gonna do before you do anything. So let me tell you my new process of handling things now. The way I handle things now is. Someone comes to me and they say they want to shoot a music video. I'm like, hey, praise God, let's go ahead and, you know, see what we can do. Let's say this person wants to shoot on the 19th. I check my calendar. Hey, I'm available. Let's go ahead and set it up. And they say, okay, lock me down, lock me in. And I tell them, I don't put anyone on my calendar until I get a deposit. If you're sure you want to shoot for this Saturday, the 19th, I'll set it up. I'll send you over the contract, have a look at it. You agree to it. You send me back the signed contract and the deposit. Once I get the contract and the deposit back, that's when I write their name on the calendar. Why do I gotta pay deposit just to schedule the date? Let me tell you why you gotta pay the deposit before you schedule the date. There's those rare cases happen where people don't value your time the way you value their time. And so sometimes people are kind of not consistent. They'll make other plans or do other things, or other things will come up that are more important. I've had a few instances where someone said, put me down. And I said, okay, without a deposit. And then that day comes around and then they say, oh, I gotta do this, or I gotta do something else, or I'm not ready. I gotta go get something. Can we do it later? Or can we do it tomorrow? Or let's just do it next week. That doesn't always work, especially if you're in business. Now, if you don't have nothing else to do, then maybe you can work like that. Personally, I can't. In fact, right now, I have one date available right now, one Saturday. That's February 2nd, I believe, is the only Saturday I have available. After that, February 23rd is the next Saturday I have available. I don't have any other Saturdays between now and February 23rd. Most people want to shoot on Saturday because that's when they could get people to come out to their shoot and help out, and that's just the normal way of doing it. In some cases I shoot on Sundays. You know, most people want to shoot on Saturdays though. During the week, I could shoot all day. But most people are not available during the week because they work, or, you know, whatever. They can't get people to come and help them, so that's cool too, whatever. In either case, it doesn't really matter what day it is. If somebody says, you know, let's put me down for this day, and you don't get a deposit, what happens? You block off that day for them. And then what happens if they reschedule or they cancel? So then what? You just stuck out with a date that you could have booked somebody else. You could have booked somebody else for that day. With the deposit, at least they're showing you that they're gonna be there, and at least they got something tied up into that date. And if they can't show up, or they decide to cancel, well then that's their loss, because now they're gonna lose money if they don't reschedule, or if they decide, well, I need to be able to reschedule for a later date. Well, I don't have any other Saturdays now. Now you just gotta take whatever I have left. So nobody goes on the calendar until I get the deposit. Without the deposit, anybody can take those days that are available, because nothing is locked in until the deposit has been made and the contract has been signed. Now, like I said, for some people, I make the exception. It's already understood. Somebody sends me a deposit, they've already signed one of the contracts with me before in the past, or they just know who I am, we know one another, we've been working with each other for a while, I may or may not even send them a contract. But the understanding is always there what we're gonna do. The initial deposit is 50%, right? So they pay half the money up front to get on the calendar. Then, because of other historical events that have happened in the past, the remaining balance is due the day of the shoot. And some people are like, why would you get the balance with day of the shoot? Why not when the video's done? Let me tell you why. I've actually collected a deposit, shot the video, edited the video, turned it around in the agreed upon time, and then when I had the video done, they don't have the balance. Something happened along the way. They didn't have the money anymore. And so me, being a brother in Christ, being a friend, trying to help, you know, they insist that they'll have the money, and they really plan on dropping this video by this certain day. And so in some cases, I've actually given them the video before getting the final payment, just expecting them to do what they said they're gonna do. Well, needless to say, because that's happened a couple times, not just one time, so that's my fault, you know, for letting it get to that point. Please do not beat me up in the comments below, because I've already felt bad enough. Believe me, I got a family to feed with this stuff. So yeah, now the way we do it is we get the deposit up front to get on the calendar, and then we get the remaining balance the day of the shoot. That way, I just need to do what I say I'm gonna do, is turn the video around, usually 2 weeks. I tell people, most people, it's usually a 2-week turnaround depending on my workload. If I'm not that busy, maybe I can get it done sooner. If I am super busy, then I will let you know that it might be 3 weeks. I mean, last year I was so busy, I had at one point 15 videos to edit. So even if I did 1 video a day, that's 2 weeks. And if I shot your video 2 weeks before, I'm still looking at like a month out if I put out 1 video every single day. So keep that in mind, man, when you're working with people, whether they're friends, whether they're family. I mean, there's gonna be times where you might have to, they might want you to make an exception, and you just gotta learn to stick to your guns, man. It's important to have a contract, basically an agreement between us both, that this is what you're gonna do, this is what I'm gonna do, and this is the expectation. If anything happens while we're there, you know, this is, you know, the expectation. You know, it's just, it's a written agreement between us, and you know, it's a contract, whatever. But it's an understanding that we all gonna do what we say we're gonna do. And so that helps cover you, and it helps cover them as well. You know, the contract is not written just one way. It's written also to protect them as well. It has in there, you know, things that will cover them if I can't make it, that they'll at least, you know, if I have to cancel, or because I'm sick or something like that and I just can't do it, and they don't want to reschedule with me because of that, then, you know, they're entitled to a refund, but of their deposit. But other than that, if they have to reschedule or anything like that, there's no refunds. And it's all just written so that it's understood, like once you lock it in, we locking it in, and we're gonna do what we say we're gonna do. You know, if you have to flake out and you can't do it, well, then you just lose out. You know, and then that way you as a business owner is not losing money because you blocked off a date for somebody that decided they didn't want to show up. And so same thing with the video. You know, you tell them the day when you're gonna have it done. You know, a lot of times there's scheduling, planning on having that video to drop a certain day. And sometimes they might say, well, can we drop it next week because my album drops next week. If you can't do it, you just got to be able to tell them you can't do it. You know, don't commit to something that you can't do. And if it's not in the contract, you know, then you really not entitled to doing that. I usually, like I say, I put in there for a couple weeks, but it's depending on the workload. If they do say that they want it sooner than what you could commit to, then just get it in writing. You know, get it in writing and charge extra for it. You know, I've had situations where somebody offered to give me extra to finish something earlier, and I told them if I could, I would. And then it came down time to it. I couldn't finish it, but I still finished it within the 2-week time period. And they even offered to give me more if I would finish it early, and I just like, I'll try. But they didn't, like, they tried to pay me extra, and I just said, well, let me see if I can finish it first, because I got a lot of other stuff going on right now, and you can't always squeeze it in. Now, obviously I would have liked to be able to take, you know, the extra money and finish it earlier, but I already have other commitments that I'm tied up in. So keep that in mind, man. Whenever you're working with somebody, man, you gotta have some kind of written agreement. You gotta have some kind of written agreement, even if it's an email. As long as it's written down, you have something. Okay, it doesn't have to be this formal thing, contract and all this stuff, what you're having an attorney look at it. All it really has to just basically say is like, look, this is between me and this person. We're agreeing to this. This is gonna be the conditions. And as long as you have something in there, now you gotta remember there's gonna be some things that you may or may not leave, you know, may or may not include in that contract that might hurt you later. Like I do have a line in my written agreements about liabilities, and so if there's an accident or something out on the set where it was, you know, based on somebody's negligence or something, that they would, you know, have to cover some certain expenses and stuff. And believe me, I've heard stories about people who have had accidents on their shoots and stuff. They get out there burning rubber and all this stuff in their music videos, and then next thing you know, they running over something or somebody. That's on them. you gotta know that that's gotta be written down though. And if not, you know, you could be liable, because let's say it's your location. Let's say you book the studio in your name and your company name. Now you liable, you know, so you have to turn it around and put it back on them by having it in your, you know, agreement, because the studio is going to have an agreement. You know, most good studios will anyway. Let me also make sure that I ask that you subscribe to this channel, like this video, and then share it with somebody who you think might need, you know, to know a little bit about contracts and things like that, man, because maybe it'll help them. All right, so with that, man, God bless you guys, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow, man. Salute. God bless.